Hey guys, it's Michelle. We actually have some really sad news. Earlier this week, Mike tragically passed away in a snowboarding accident, which is actually kind of odd. I didn't even know he was into winter sports. Anyway, we have every intention here at Recine Time to honor his life and carry on his legacy. And here to do that is the new CEO of Recine Time, Deborah Recine.
Thank you.
Of course, this must be a really hard time for you.
It is. Mike, he loved just working 2 hours a week. And he loved his family. And he would come home and spin the dreidel a few times and light the menorah and say, let's order DoorDash.
Wait, he was Jewish?
He was converting. Yes, he was converting.
Really? Oh, that's odd because Mike and I worked together pretty regularly, and there was never any indication that he had interest in being.
No, he was converting. He was.
Okay. And he liked snowboarding?
Yes.
Okay.
He loved it.
Right. I mean, no one knew him as well as you probably. Well, I'm so sorry for your loss, Deborah. I'm sure this is a very tough week for you with laying him to rest and
no, stop it. Don't ask me where he's being buried. Can I have this one thing for myself and my family? That is a secret.
Where he's buried is okay.
Don't ask me any more questions.
Well, sure. No, I'm sorry. I don't mean to overstep. It's just that a lot of other people are asking questions about his death. So is there anything that you want to clarify?
No.
Did you get any answers?
No. Do not investigate. And stop. Stop asking questions. I deserve my privacy. Now let's start the show.
You have autism.
What's wrong with that? I'm passionate about stuff. I don't wish you would do anything.
I can't control you.
Hello, everybody. McDonald's has a new AI commercial. Let's take a look.
The most terrible time of the year. All the shops turn to mayhem, even Santa knows space, and the tree redecorated your place. It's the most terrible time of the year. The roast turned to charcoal,
And the cookies burn too.
Freaking chaos, it feels like a zoo. It's the most terrible time of the year. See you bleed from the madness, the lights and the cheese.
I watched this commercial like maybe 30 times. Okay. Everybody was trashing it. Everybody said this is terrible. Everybody was like, this is completely soulless. There's a lot of bad stuff you can say about this commercial. It's soulless. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. The message of it is, what the hell? You watch the commercial. You go, this is your message. Your message is that Christmas is terrible. But I did something kind of weird, and I watched it again. Okay? I watched it a second time. And I said, okay, this is interesting because, well, there's a Disney movie called Wish. And it came out a couple years ago, and everybody was trashing this movie. Everybody said, oh, look how terrible this Disney movie is. And there was speculation that the movie was written by AI, that some of the songs are written by AI. Now, the vibe in this McDonald's commercial is kind of similar. It's kind of similar to that, where you're like, this is weird because it's not good. It kind of feels like a rough draft. It feels like something that maybe, a middle schooler might put together for a presentation. And it's odd because the people who made the video were saying, AI didn't make this video, we did. We worked tirelessly on this. We just used AI to do it. But then you watch it a 10th time. You watch this video a 10th time and you go, Well, you know what? I see what they're going for. I see what they're trying to do. I mean, how many times through the course of your life have you seen a commercial where it's the holidays and everything's stressful and everything's bad and just come to Best Buy. Best Buy's got you this holiday season. GameStop has you this holiday season. You know, come to Sephora, come to Whole Foods, come to John's used mattresses. Do you need a mattress for your tunnel? Hey, the holidays are stressful, but John's used mattresses has something for you. I know, because you're digging your tunnel. You spent all your money on shovels to dig your tunnel under the synagogue, and you need a good deal on a mattress. And it's the holidays too. It's Hannukah time, so you know. So listen, we got you. But my thing with this is like, obviously no creative people were involved in this commercial, because even someone who's got a little bit of creative instincts would say, hey, like, guys, we got to tweak this a little bit. We can't put this out. The cookies burn too. Freaking chaos. It feels like a zoo. We can't do that. Guys, come on. This is amateur stuff. We're better than this. Then the 15th time you watch it, you go, yeah, you know, you see it again. You go, I see what they're going for. I see what they're trying to do. And like I said, we've seen this commercial a million times. Hey, the holidays are stressful. Hey, but they didn't, like, it's bad, but it's not that bad. But there's also like certain commercials where like you get, I don't know, like there's certain commercials where you go like, I bet if you're the creative person who makes the commercial, you go, this is what I'm going for. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to make people feel. And it's going to be McDonald's. So actually, I'm an artist, and we're just going to put the McDonald's logo at the end of this. So I kind of see like, yeah, you see what they're going for. McDonald's has you. I showed it to my 4-year-old, and he liked it. He thought it was good. He laughed a little bit. He said, oh, look at the guy falling over. But what I don't like, I don't like the overall message of the commercial. They kind of miss the mark, where they say it's the most terrible time of the year. And so the last line of the commercial is, and hide out in McDonald's till January's here. Which also is like, that's just not a thing that people do. Like, hide in McDonald's. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, yeah. You're like, oh, yeah, that's what I like to do. Hide in McDonald's. Hide in McDonald's because your name's Luigi Mangione. That was the original. You just killed a guy, and now it's time to hide. Yeah, so it didn't have anything. There wasn't anything about it that was like, oh, this is what, you know. It didn't resonate. And also, like, no Christmas commercial in the history of ever has said, oh, Christmas sucks, but January will be here soon. January, as we know, January is the worst month of the entire year. January fucking sucks donkey dick. Nobody likes January. Nothing good happens in January, except for Martin Luther King's birthday, obviously. February might be actually the actual worst month of the year, because February is like, okay, we're still doing this. We're still doing winter. But March is kind of bad too. April's cold, but January is like, when you wake up on New Year's Day, you go, man, this is the last day of vacation, and now we're going back into we're going into 30 days of suck. We're going to 30 days of suck, 30 days of dog shit. The 20th time you watch this video, you go, all right, I know it's bad. But I'm kind of enjoying it. I'm kind of enjoying it, much like the way, like, if I got arrested for beating my wife and they sent me to prison and they brought me McDonald's and it's the only thing that they offered me. You know, it's almost like if you had no money and you found $5 on the ground, but the $5 was, you know, the $5 was really smelly, you'd go like, all right, I'll take it.
This is for the Netherlands, so some like studio.
Oh, I thought it was Germany.
I heard Netherlands. But
Okay.
either way, the firm that made it, like the creative agency, was still, that studio was in America. And they were like, we didn't sleep for weeks.
Yeah.
We were just writing AI prompts and over again. It's like,
Yeah, but then the 20th time you watch it, you're like, oh, okay, I can see you realize something that's happening to your brain. You go like, okay, I know that I'm getting stupider every time I watch this commercial. But there's going to be an intersection of more AI. Like, we're going to be inundated with more AI, and I'm going to get stupider by watching it. So really, it feels like the point of AI is not to replicate something that's good, or not to replace something that's already working. Kind of the point of AI is that if we look at it enough, they wear down our intelligence and we get dumber, and then we're going to go, this is the best McDonald's commercial that's ever made, and I don't even want to read books anymore. I just want to watch, McDonald's commercials. And I was scrolling through Twitter, and I saw that Joe Rogan was doing his podcast. And he was like, yeah, I listen to AI music. And then his guest was like, yeah, they're going to have AI podcasts soon too. And he was like, I don't know about that.
Doing it, like, huh?
Yeah.
Probably needs to be better if AI made the music.
Stop it. It will never be better if AI makes the music. You just broke my soul, Joe. No.
AI is making some really good music.
It's also making
very
some great
uncomfortable.
podcasts.
It's very uncomfortable.
So-
I don't know about that.
I've heard that it's coming out with podcasts.
Oh, they're
right?
the late.
But you got to take a look at this stuff. You got to take a look at this stuff and go, what's happening? What's going on here? Replacing the arts with AI is really something. In every science fiction movie, in every you just assume that when people say the robots are coming, everybody assumes that that's like, manual labor. That's what we thought. That's what they should have done. I mean, one would think that all of the worst jobs will be done by robots, and then AI is going to be robots lifting boxes, and then our lives are going to be subsidized so that we can make music, or that we can be creative or whatever it is, or read books or whatever. There's three facets of my life that I there's only three things that are important to me. It's making money, surviving, obviously, creativity, and I think that's a lot of people. Whatever creativity is to you, whether you like to, whatever it is, your thing that you do that makes you feel passionate. I think that's important, and time with your family, So it's very odd. So the idea of society, if you could look, if somebody nuked the U.S. tomorrow and we had to redo, okay, if the U.S. was covered, not nukes, but if you could start over, if you could go back 500 million years and just kill the evil fish, I have a feeling the first fish that ever walked out of water was evil, so you could just kill that one and just wait for the next one, and that was good. But if you thought about how society could be organized, you would say oh, okay, everybody works on a thing, everybody picks a thing that they want to do, and then you get good at that thing, whether it's music or whether it's whether it's music or writing or speaking, or maybe you find something that brings value to the world. Okay, you find something that helps other people. You find something that makes you feel good because you helped other people, and whatever it is, it's something that's kind of cool. I heard famous pedophile Jerry Seinfeld talk about this actually in an interview. He said, back in the 70s. Pedophile comedian Jerry Seinfeld once said that back in the 70s, you would judge people by how cool their job was, whatever it is that you did. Let's think of some cool jobs right now, okay? Snake handler, poet, tutor, math teacher, whatever it is. That should be how we organize society. We teach our kids, what do you like to do? What makes you feel good? What makes you connect? What makes you connected with other people? And look, and maybe you're a kid who likes to make music, or maybe you're somebody who thinks you're funny and you start working on it, or maybe you like to draw, okay? And you start drawing, and then you get good at it, and you learn how to do it, and you watch YouTube, and then you get good at it, and then maybe you can charge some money for it. Maybe you can get a little gig. Maybe you can offer your services to people. I'll paint your wife's vagina I'll custom paint. Hey, I really like to paint. I'll paint your dog's asshole for you. But then you're in a just world. You're able to maybe make money off it someday. Even if you can't do it professionally, even if it doesn't become your trade, you just have a thing that you love to do. And maybe you can make money off it, and maybe not. And maybe you're not good enough to make money off it, but maybe you will be someday. Maybe it's going to take you 10 years to get your first, I remember the first time I was paid to do comedy. I was like, oh, okay, interesting. I'm a professional comedian. I got $25 and it cost me $35 to get to the gig and back. And I had to pay gas and tolls and everything. And nobody had a good time. And I had to follow a Frank Sinatra impersonator who was just an old man who sang Frank Sinatra songs. But that's the idea of people. We give a crap. We give a crap about each other. I'm Ben Shapiro and I'm good. The other thing, too, that I was thinking about was AI doesn't really make bad art. Bad art is very interesting. Deb and I were in Asheville many years ago, and we went to this vegan cafe. We got into it was like this just this little hippie restaurant, okay? And there were paintings on the wall, and these paintings were such dog shit. They were really bad. They were really grotesque, and it looked like a 4-year-old or maybe a 6-year-old drew them. And the people in them had sharp teeth. It was drawings of people with sharp. It was very grotesque and negative, and just kind of and just I go, God, look at that. But we had this. It was we had a fun moment together, being look at this dog shit over here. Right? You get to say, oh, that's dog shit. You get to say, look at this, that's dog shit. Those are bad choices. The purpose of AI is they want to enslave us. They want to stop us from creating. They want to stop us from doing stuff on our own so that AI can do it. And I think it's important to recognize that. There's different ways of looking at something when something's new. Somebody goes, oh, you don't need to write a song for the podcast. You can just use this AI music. You don't need to use a graphic. You don't need to use Photoshop. Weekend Update was doing, they did AI. Yeah, they did an AI image. But my question is, if they're trying to enslave us with this stuff, can't they only make us into slaves if we want to be, if we choose to go? Can't we resist? I mean, okay, let's say there's AI podcasts, okay? Now you can So now you can listen to a robot try to be funny or joke around with each other, it only works if you're a little slave piggy, right? It only works if you listen to it. There's only gonna be AI art if you're willing to consume it, right? There's only going to be AI movies if you're willing to go watch them and pay for them, right? Wouldn't you think? Can't we resist? Can't we say like, oh, this is not, I don't want to participate in this. Can't we check out? Can we? We can, right?
If we had like collective bargaining power in our workplaces, we could make sure that our employers don't use that kind of technology unless it benefits the masses of employees.
Yeah.
Instead of helps lay people off and whatever.
Yeah.
Like if we had a representative government, we could do the same thing with our government. We could make sure that, these technologies don't get used unless the gains in productivity that come from these technologies are used to benefit the masses of people instead of whatever.
But
the McDonald's
if they give us AI podcasts, if they say, hey, listen to this AI podcast. Listen to Recine Time or whatever it is, or listen to.
You want me to make an AI?
Blappo.
You want me to make one?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's just check out the AI version of Recine Time. Let's see if it's any good.
Okay. I can upload an old episode.
And
then we can listen to it. Do you want to do that?
Because my question is, if they make Recine Time, right, and they put out Recine Time, but then I'm still putting out Recine Time, right? Recine Time with Michelle.
What does the B represent? Nothing?
I don't know. Just a different.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Instead of Mike and Michelle, it's Bike and Michelle. Don't the consumers theoretically get to choose if they want to listen to it or not? Or are they just going to or what are they going to do? They're just going to squeeze, they're just going to squeeze me? I don't know. Because I thought that being an artist was at least a chance to kind of get out of the rat race a little bit. Just like the guy who opened up his own, jeans store. The guy who opened up Jimmy's Jeans. But then, because weren't people really dumb in the Middle Ages and stuff like that? Don't you like to think that people are smarter? But maybe they're not smarter, because you read letters from Civil War soldiers and stuff, and they're just, Well, no, but all these guys have a good vocabulary, and these Civil War soldiers that write letters to their. It just seems like maybe people were more intelligent back in the day, and then they dumbed us down. Is that where humanity's heading? We're just marching towards stupid. And then how do you resist? You listen to podcast. You go on platforms that are owned by these people, and you watch YouTube videos. But I do think people need to just resist the watching the feeling that you get. Watch the McDonald's commercial. Watch it 30 times so you can see what they're trying to do to you. Right. Okay? And resist that. Whatever it takes to resist that. Whether it's but the more you watch it, the more that kind of stuff gets normalized. Yeah. And these strong reactions that everyone's having, they're gonna go away. Yeah. I just like to give my listeners a little optimism, though.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean to.
What can
disagree with you.
What can we be optimistic about?
The rest of the episode's silent.
No, I just think that there's got to be things that you can kind of resist. You have to resist your brain liking the McDonald's commercial. You very well may get to a point where you think the McDonald's commercial is good.
It'll start with you thinking, it's fine, it's not that bad.
It's fine, it's not that bad.
Someone's going to be like, actually, I kind of like this part. Oh, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Don't let it happen.
Don't let it happen.
No. Oh, the cat was funny. No.
No, it was not. Yeah. So, yeah, just something to think about. Anyway, the one
All right,
thing
I'm generating a Recine Time episode.
You are?
Yeah, I think I'll just do the Hitler episode since it's recent.
Okay.
Let's see how they do it.
Okay. Cool. You have it right now to look at?
It's generating.
Are we just panicking, though, about society being stupid? Hasn't this been something that people have always worried about this? Because somebody said to me on Twitter, they were like, you sound like people who wanted their horses after cars were invented. I said, cars kill 40 million people a year, buddy. Imagine if your car could smile at you. If I ever go on Joe Rogan's podcast, I'm going to be like, yeah, Joe, I heard they're developing AI toilets right now. And there's a computer inside the toilet, and it knows when to flush the toilet. Joe, they're going to start making AI cutting boards, actually. Listen, Joe, I got an investment for you. We'll talk about it after the show. But AI cutting boards. Yeah, there's a computer chip in the cutting board, and it knows when the cutting board is releasing too many microplastics. Joe, there's AI toilet paper, and what it does is, well, actually, it's not AI toilet paper. It's an AI toilet paper holder, and so what it does is like it knows. First of all, it can read when you're done pooping, Joe, it dispenses the perfect amount of toilet paper for you to wipe your ass. Joe, it's amazing. Joe, the technology is it's crazy too.
Connected. It has to be connected to some sort of wearable technology that knows what you ate.
Every shit is different, and it gives you the perfect amount of toilet paper to wipe your ass because it's connected. No, because Joe, it's connected to your Apple Watch. See, Joe, it's connected to your Apple Watch, so.
I mean, listen, you're either serious about environmentalism or you're not. You need to stop wasting toilet paper.
Joe, did you know the average person wastes 1 billion squares of toilet paper in the course of their life? All right. Okay, Joe, hold on. Joe, what about an AI book? Joe, look. Joe, listen. Joe, let me show you something. Okay, here's what's going to happen, Joe.
By the way, our AI podcast is ready, but you continue whenever you're ready.
All right, Joe. Have you ever read War and Peace? Okay, Joe, look. Now you've read War and Peace. No, Joe, you have it in your brain. Maybe you forgot it. Wasn't he like, oh, Jesus he was like, Jesus could come back as AI. I think he said like Jesus could come back as AI.
Well, yeah, I guess they would just feed an LLM like the Bible and be like, make a chatbot Jesus.
Yeah, but then what new things would he even like say?
They would also feed him all the recent news, so he would come back and be like, the anti-Semitism is really an epidemic.
Imagine AI Jesus comes back. He's like, we need to kill Hassan Piker right now.
We got to really crack down on social media, Gen Z.
Jesus said Hassan Piker has to take his shirt off and rub sweet potatoes on his nipples. What? You want to argue with Jesus? Go ahead, argue with Jesus. All right, all right, so we're watching the AI version of Recine Time.
It's just listening. It's just a podcast.
Let's see.
This is the AI version. I fed it the transcript of our episode from 2 weeks ago.
I just smashed your computer with a hammer.
Okay, this is the Hitler's TikTok era episode.
All right, let's see.
Sources this week, they didn't really focus on one single topic.
Like historical revisionism on TikTok, all the way to Silicon Valley philanthropy, and then somehow ends up on Broadway theater critique.
It's a wild ride.
It is.
Okay, let's just dive right in, because the source material starts with this one anecdote that, it's the perfect way to understand this whole ecosystem. The host's young cousin, Chaz, is just sitting there waiting for a ride, completely glued to his phone. And he's absorbing two things at once. These translated viral speeches from the Austrian painter.
So Hitler.
Right, from Hitler. And at the same time, he's just spouting this really virulent red pill misogyny.
Okay, so this is okay, I see what's happening.
This
is
is
a
you?
podcast about our video.
Historical revisionism and modern toxic ideology all coming through the same pipeline. Women are all gold diggers, and men and women shouldn't even work together.
He even directed some of it at the host's own wife.
And that's our jumping off point. So let's dig into that historical revisionism pipeline. The source really focuses on these AI-translated speeches going viral on TikTok. The comments are calling it straight fire, that he's spitting fact. It's just the power of selective packaging, right? You pull out a critique of British colonialism, translate it, and because it sounds like a counter-narrative, people accept it. They completely ignore the massive, horrific context of who is speaking.
And this is where the source gets into the why. It pivots into this really deep critique of how American history is taught. The argument is that we simplify the rise of Hitler down to just, some crazy guy.
Right, that his evilness alone caused the war, which obscures the whole industrial and economic reality behind it all.
The source makes a great point. You cannot build armies out of evilness and feelings alone.
Okay, but here's what I don't understand. Okay, you listen to an episode of our show, right? You already have brain damage. Why would you want more brain damage listening to AI?
You need someone to tell you what to think about it now.
Yeah, listening to AI talk about our show.
The argument is that by making Hitler into this third rail, this uniquely personal, untouchable evil, It stops us from asking the deeper questions about the systems that enabled him.
Oh, okay.
If we teach that, it could have been anyone in that chair, then you might start looking at today's financial systems,
They're
at
too
corporate
smart.
interests that look a little too similar to those enabling mechanisms of the past. So the
Wow.
simplification, it serves a modern empire by protecting current power structures.
Because it moves the lesson from a personal moral failure to a structural one. And that directly informs how the source then starts talking about modern conflict, especially around Israel and anti-Semitism.
And that same cynical structural viewpoint comes right back. The source brings up this idea that Israel actually loves the spread of anti-Semitism because, paradoxically, it's beneficial to the nation.
Wow.
The idea being that it's not a far leap to say that they are helping anti-Semitism spread because an external threat helps unify the nation state.
And that kind of environment, that cynical scrutiny, it just creates this breeding ground for really radical
pause.
views. The sources mention running...
Okay, this isn't bad. Go listen to the show we did 2 weeks ago, by the way. This isn't bad, but why would you want to listen to this?
You can make anything an AI podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. But then what? So everyone's going to have their little AI podcast. I mean, like, I don't know. It's difficult to see how this stuff is going to actually help people or make it. That's the thing that bothers me the most. How is this stuff going to make anybody's life better? How is this? And then you have all these like slop merchants on Twitter being like, they say it's slop. They say AI is slop. Could slop do this? And it's like he's going around like posing with like, Martin Luther King. He's like doing a photo with like Martin Luther King and Hitler. And he's like, look, I brought our greatest minds together. I mean, but it's just very vapid, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. So you put Brad Pitt and Russell Crowe in a video together. Okay, cool. You made homosexual pornography with Brad Pitt and Russell Crowe, but or it's like you're walking around, you're posing with all the Avengers. Like, what? Who gives a fuck? What is this? What is the purpose of this?
The purpose is that eventually they're gonna make Jesus come back, and you're gonna believe it.
Yeah. It'd be cool if a guy tries to generate Muhammad and he gets his head cut off. He tries to do AI Muhammad, and then he gets killed. Okay, we're gonna be right back, and we got more show. Okay, and we're back. There was a horrific shooting in Australia at Bondi Beach. I think maybe 15 people were killed. There was a 10-year-old girl that lost her life. Folks, I've said it once. I'll say it again. All kids are innocent. And most adults are innocent, too. A decent amount of adults are innocent. Maybe 30% of all adults on planet Earth are innocent and don't deserve to be killed. I did see something though right away. There's a guy named Arsen Ostrovsky, and he's a sort of a prominent, I guess you would call him like a prominent Zionist. I'm not sure. Like I've seen a lot of his posts. He's like a human rights lawyer or something. I didn't realize that the guy was Australian and he talks like this. And I guess when I see these people, I just think that they're like, oh, hey, oh no, Israel good. You're anti-Semite. But he's actually a guy that talks like this. He's Australian, so I didn't understand. It's hard to imagine that a Jewish person can talk like this, because Australians are kind of, hey, hello everyone, I'm Jewish. Hi everybody. Yeah, excuse me, this food, I want to send it back to the kitchen. I don't like it. And actually, I did have to take some money off your security deposit, pal.
Wait, is it a Jewish thing to send food back?
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. You've never heard that joke?
No.
A waiter goes over to these two Jewish women eating lunch, and he goes, "Hi, ladies, is anything okay?" Jewish thing, but it's also a white woman thing. Because my cousin Yeah, my cousin's married to a Nigerian guy, and he's like, when we started dating, she always sent back her food to the kitchen, and I would say, why you do this? Because he's a very cool guy. My cousin-in-law, I guess you would call him. Shout out to Ike. But yeah, he's like, your cousin always sent back her food, and I said, in my country they would be insulted by this. And then my cousin's like, yeah, well, I'm ordering it. Well, I paid for it, so let me get the food that I want. Anyway, yeah. Arsen Ostrovsky, Jewish guy. Hey, this techno music's really good, guys, isn't it? So listen, you're gonna need 40 times the rent to live here. Just gonna need some tax returns, and maybe you could get a cosign from your dad if you want to live here. Anyway, one of the first things I see. So Sunday morning, there's reports coming out of this shooting. One of the first things I see is this fucking guy lying on the ground with blood all over his face, being like, "Please help! Please help! We're being targeted. Jews are being targeted once again." And I just remember, look, I feel like I've seen some of this guy's posts before. I was looking for other posts of his. Couldn't really find them, but I'm pretty sure he had a post one time where he was like, my car just got hit by a missile. I don't know if you could find it, but he's like, I'm pretty sure. And I tried to find it. If you can't find it, it's okay. Maybe it's been deleted or something. I don't know. But it's like, these people they lie like fucking toddlers. And Elon Musk does that too. Elon Musk will be on stage being like, so there's actually, they're just so shameless. They're just like, let me tell you a little story. I remember one time, and this is going to tie into the next thing that we want to talk about. Okay, I remember one time, my 4-year-old was having a bad day, okay? He's having a bad day because I kind of promised him that we would go to Dave & Buster's, and I was like, no, we're not doing that, but I suggested it. And then so he thought we were going to Dave & Buster's, so he got really upset. So he's in his, so I'm walking, I'm like pushing him around Brooklyn, and he's crying, and he's sobbing, and he's like, Daddy, you need to take me to Dave & Buster's right now. And I'm like, I don't think we're going today, bud. I'm sorry. And then he goes like, and he's like dead. He's like, his eyes are full of tears. And he goes, if you don't take me to Dave & Buster's, I'm going to punch you in the penis. And that's when you go, okay, champ. No, that's not going to happen. But I guess somewhere in the course of Elon's life, like no person would, people we're not even ruled by like people that are that clever for like somehow, If we were ruled by lizards, then I might say, oh, okay, well, okay, we're run by lizards who eat people's brains, but at least they like know how to, they know how to keep the airplanes in the air or something. They know how to like run society. We are ruled over by people who literally lie like children. Elon's like, so actually, what we're developing is and he's not even like he doesn't even look comfortable when he's lying. That's what's so odd to me. We're developing computer chips that so you put the computer chip in your brain and it makes your penis bigger. We're working on that technology right now. Yep, here I am, covered in blood. I just got shot in the head, guys. I just got shot in the head in this horrible anti-Semitic attack. Look at me. There was a video of him. They were like, "What happened to you?" He was like, "I got hit. I got hit." But man, this poor. I mean, and then he also said that he like survived October 7th. I mean,
wait, so he was shot?
That's
at
what
Bondi
he's.
Beach?
He's claiming he was shot at Bondi Beach, but he took a selfie with like blood all over his face.
You don't think he was shot?
I'll tell you this, Michelle.
Wait, where was he shot? Like, where in the body? Oh, bullet grazed head.
He said the bullet grazed his head. Yeah. So this guy survives October 7th, survives the Bondi Beach shooting, and his grandma got killed in the Holocaust. I mean, this guy can't catch a break.
Well, the what they're going for here is like, this is just the average day life of a Jew.
I know.
This is just...
I know. But
Times of Israel. This is a blog. It's an opinion piece. From
Yeah.
Israel to Bondi Beach. Terror found my friend Arsen Ostrovsky. In case you need a reminder that terrorism against Jews doesn't stop at Israel's borders.
Yeah.
That's like, it's literally on the nose.
Right.
In case you need a reminder that terrorism against Jews doesn't stop at Israel's borders.
And I saw some other posts that said like the odds of surviving October 7th to end the Bondi Beach shooting are like 1 in like 4 quadrillion or something. But then he's had a bunch of other posts where he's like, hey guys, we're in the bomb shelter. And I'm pretty sure he made a post that was like, they just attacked my car. I think. Anyway.
So he's the head of Australia, Israel, and Jewish Affairs Council, Sydney office.
Okay. This guy is like one of those he's one of those Zionists where like his posts like he at like every few years he has like a great like a killer post. And I'm pretty sure he made a post, and I wonder if it's been deleted. But I feel like I remember him being like, the Houthis just hit my car with a missile. The Houthis hit my car with a missile. God damn it. I was literally 2 payments away from that car being mine. Guys, the Houthis hit my car. This is all that's left of my Sheryl Crow CD. Look at guys. Look. They beheaded my Garfield. They took the head off my Garfield window decal. He also I know for a fact that he had a tweet where somebody shared like a child in Gaza, and they were like, look, this kid has white hair from the stress of living in Gaza. And then somebody else was like, no, this is not a child's hair, this is a porcupine. And he was like, whoa, I can't believe this is a porcupine. It looks nothing like a porcupine. So all I'm saying is, look, you guys got to stop lying like children, okay? The Houthis did not hit your car with a missile. Nice try, but there's literally a story about this. There's a children's story. It's called The Boy Who Cried Wolf. And that's what you guys are kind of doing. So, and then also there's reports that like, I don't know if this is spreading or not, but everybody, of course, it's like this attack happens and everybody has to say like, oh, look at this. Oh, of course it's a Muslim, blah, blah, blah. Never mind that the guy who disarmed the shooter was a Muslim, but, and there were reports that the shooter served in the IDF. I saw some people say that the shooter served in the IDF and his real name is David Cohen. I don't know. All I'm saying is, let's all just come together and stop killing children. Yeah. Now let me ask you this: you're half of a Jew. Are you ever like a little bit pro-Israel? Are you ever like, oh, it's cool that this place exists? Are you ever like,
no,
no? Okay.
I mean, sometimes I do have like Jewish pride, like with certain things,
Yeah.
but it's never related to Israel.
Right. But when people trash Israel, you're never like, okay, this is a little too much, right?
No,
Yeah.
The only time I ever have an inkling of that is when like Israel starts cucking us so bad. I'm like, fuck no, this is America. You don't talk to us like that.
I feel that way too.
And
I
I get a little patriotic.
Yeah. Well, that's what Nick Fuentes talks about. Yeah. He's like, you're a guest in this country, motherfucker. I think me too. That is the only time that I'm patriotic. Yeah. I go, get the fuck out of our government. That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Get the fuck out of our beautiful
Get the fuck out of our
slave
government.
owner government.
Wait, did I ever tell you this story? When I worked at Got Junk, I worked with this guy Joe every single day, and we would just like when we were bored, like when we didn't have a job, we would just call the KKK and we'd listen to their voicemail. And then so one day we called the KKK, and the guy's like, "Good morning, thank you for calling the Loyal White Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. Today I want to talk about the satanic state of Israel. They send their politicians over here to do their bidding, to work for them. These people are not Americans. They are here to bleed us dry." And he's like, "Please leave your name and number. We will get back to you." And then like I hang up the phone. We're both like, "Yeah, that one kind of like." Like an Italian guy, a black guy, and the KKK. We all need to we really all need to come together, you know? Italian racists, black guys, and the KKK. We need a big coalition to get rid of this, you know? We need my cousin's biracial kids. We need Michelle, whatever she is, whatever, you know? We need Michelle's type of Jew. We need Italian guys. We need black people. And we all just need to get together. All of us need to get together and just maybe make like a Zionist concentration camp. Not a Jewish concentration camp, but like we just need to put like Amy Schumer and her ilk. We need to put them all in a camp, and we can have Jews guarding maybe they could do like the taxes or something for them, for the camp. And then Amy Schumer would be like, "Oh, you're putting me in this camp because I'm a Jew?" And we're just like, no. The person who's going to kill you is Jewish, actually. The person who's going to execute you and barbecue you. All right. Okay, moving on. Yeah, so Rob Reiner was stabbed to death by his son. Imagine, if you will, your father is a legendary comedy writer. You're around show business all the time. You're always going to the set with your dad. Your dad created the Dick Van Dyke Show and the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and you go, "Okay, yeah, show business. I want to do this. I want to be an actor. I'm going to be an actor. I'm going to be a sitcom actor. I'm going to be on one of the most influential sitcoms ever." When I'm at the beginning of my career, I'm going to be a sitcom actor. And then I want to pivot to directing, and I'm a good director. I'm actually a great director. I actually made many iconic movies that you didn't even you know the movie Stand By Me? I bet you didn't even know that I directed that, and I did. Because people go, "What movies did you direct?" When people think about the movies I directed, they think of Princess Bride, which is kind of the most famous one, but you forget that I did Misery. You ever see Misery? Great. Fantastic movie.
When you first came here, I only loved the writer part of Paul Sheldon. But now I know I love the rest of him too. I know you don't love me. Don't say you do. You're beautiful, brilliant, famous man of the world, and I'm not a movie star type.
It's an adaptation from a Stephen King novel, and it's James Caan and Kathy Bates, and it's like Kathy Bates' first movie, I think. And she plays like the crazy nurse who, like, James Caan is an author who gets in an accident, and she like takes him in. She's like a crazy person who wants to like keep him in her house, you know. So it's like but it's a fantastic movie. Watched it a couple years ago. Hey, I did Stand By Me. I did When Harry Met Sally, one of the best romantic comedies, which I haven't seen. But and then I got these. I had sex with Penny Marshall. He was married to Penny Marshall. So not only do I make great movies, I pull the hottest. I pull the hottest tail. I pull the hottest tail in Hollywood. Michelle's not laughing, but I know that's a funny joke that I just said. I see your wife. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, cool. I'm just a very influential guy. I have three beautiful kids. Okay, my 15-year-old had a little bit of had some problems with drug addiction, but we tried to figure that out. We hit some bumps in the road, but he actually wrote a movie that I directed. I directed a movie for my kid. Okay, now that I'm getting older, I feel I'm an older guy. You know, Donald Trump is in office. Fascism is coming to America. Okay. America's never been bad before, but now there's a real danger creeping into our beautiful nation that has been so good to me. I better get out there. I better use my platform. I'm going to go on Bill Maher, and I'm going to be one of the leading voices against this fascist president. And I'm going to fight. I have to do this. I have to use my platform to fight fascism. But everybody still likes my movies. I made some of the best movies. You know, yeah, I'm Carl Reiner's son, but look at my body of work. Look at my huge body of work. Hey, I got these beautiful kids. I got this beautiful daughter. Look at this. I got this beautiful daughter, and she's making funny videos with me. So I made The Princess Bride. I made Misery. I made When Harry Met Sally. And I got one fucked up son over here. Okay, I got 3 kids. All right. 2 of them are normal. One of them's a little fucked up. One of them is a little bit fucked up, and he's a drug addict. But I did make a movie for him, so I tried to do my best by my one middle kid. Okay, and I'm going to continue to be a voice against fascism. I'm going to fight fascism, and yeah, am I a shit lib? Of course I'm a shit lib, but everybody's a shit lib. Everybody's a shit lib where I'm from. I'm still a nice guy. I'm a genuine guy. I'm a sweet guy. All my friends are shit libs. You know, I'm friends with Sean Penn, for Christ's sake. All my friends are shit libs, and we all agree that Donald Trump is the greatest threat to our nation, and we are going to resist his tyranny. And at the same time, everybody still respects me because I made all these fucking movies that you like. Ah, my son just stabbed me to death. Damn, really? That's the end? That's how my fucking life ends? My fucking dumbass drug addict, dumbass son stabs me to death? What? Come on. To me, that's like, did you ever play The Lion King for Sega Genesis? There was a Lion King game but you've seen The Lion King, right?
Yeah. I just don't know what the second thing you said is.
So Sega Genesis is like an old video game console that probably was out before you were born. But they made these games like really hard, and like you couldn't save your progress. It wasn't like back in the day where you could like save your game. So you had to like play the game straight through, and you had to beat it. It was like a really hard game, but they made the games really hard because they wanted you to buy the game instead of renting it. So they wanted to make the game so hard that you couldn't beat the games in like a weekend when you would rent the game. They made the games were so hard that they wanted you to buy the games instead of renting them. So that would make them, they would sell more games if the games are really hard. So to me, this is like this guy goes through his life, gets a couple legs up, you know, but very impressive body of work here. It's almost like getting to the end of the Lion King game, you know? You've been working all Saturday. You did the first level, you did the next level. It's the end of the Lion King game. You're fighting Scar. I can't believe I got this far. Wow, I did it. Wow, let's take a moment. I'm 78 years old, and I'm about to beat Scar. I'm about to throw Scar off the cliff. Wow, what a life. I don't know how to make a stabbing sound effect, but it's like that. But then that's how, God damn it. That's the end. That's how it ends. My son, fuck. Really? My fucking son. Like, if you read that in a script, you go, what the fuck? If they told you that, if a fortune teller told you that, if a fortune teller said you're going to make a lot of great movies, yeah, and then your son, you go, are you fucking kidding me? Damn it. So I can't, I've been thinking about this a lot, you know? And I just want to give you guys some information before we kind of dive into this. Now, just a little side note, Michelle showed me how to highlight stuff on a Word document, and it's like, man, every day she amazes me. Every day I'm so impressed. Unbelievable. Listen, you should have seen my desktop before I met you.
Oh, I did see it.
You should see my desktop. Yeah,
I did see it. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's getting a little insane again though.
Well, you got to do the classic. Every now and then, you just got to dump everything into a folder called desktop.
So this guy, I guess he worked for the Hollywood Reporter. He had dinner. So 10 years ago in 2015, he had dinner with Rob Reiner and his wife and his son and his daughter. So let me just give you some information before we really kind of like get into this. It says, I almost didn't have dinner with the Reiners at the 2015 Toronto Film Festival. I was consumed with covering a slew of stories from my then employer, LA Times. This included the stir around eventual Best Picture Spotlight, the buzzy Lenny Abramson movie Room, and even a controversy over a court injunction stopping the screening of an Aretha Franklin court documentary. So this guy has dinner. So Nick Reiner, who's Rob Reiner's drug addict son. I'm not trying to be derogatory or defamatory or anything, but he is his drug addict son. Okay, that's just a fact. It's just a fact of the case. Your Honor, the guy's a fucking drug addict. Your Honor, I'm not gonna. Your Honor, I can't change how I talk. Your Honor, the guy's a fucking drug addict. Anyway, directed by Rob and co-written by Nick. So Nick wrote a movie called Being Charlie, which is about his struggles with addiction. Now, Nick Reiner is a guy. Nick Reiner strikes me as the kind of guy who's like, some people are just not interesting, and they're just like, this is how I imagine him. Yeah, I used to like struggle with addiction. I used to struggle with addiction. Yeah, man, I was like homeless. Yeah, man, I was like basically homeless. There's two ways this guy could be. He could either be like, yeah, I was basically homeless. I struggle with addiction. Or he could be a guy who's like, you better give me money. You better give me money for my movie, Dad. Dad, I'm going to be fucking homeless. What the fuck? Dad, fuck. Dad, come on. I'm going to be fucking homeless. So anyway, so this guy, so Rob Reiner, now from what I also read in this article, which we're going to get into that. He was sent to rehab when he was like 15. Sure, please, thank you. He was at a party with some other kids. There was a kid that OD'd, but we'll get into that later. But they made this movie together, okay? But he just strikes me as a kind of guy who's like, he's probably sitting in a therapist's office. The therapist charges like $400 an hour, and he's like, yeah, like my grandpa like was like a TV writer, and like my dad is like a director, and I want to make a movie, and my dad said no. He's like a double nepo, but then there's plenty of nepo kids that turn out normal. But let's just get into so Nick Reiner writes this movie called Being Charlie. Rob Reiner directs it. It's about a drug-addicted son who feels like he's being pushed hard to get clean so as to not be an embarrassment to his famous father. The character is a clear stand-in for Nick Reiner. The real-life son who turned 22 on the day of our dinner, this is 10 years ago, mind you, had just taken the stage with his father at the premiere a few blocks away. Then they made their way over to the restaurants with me. Nick was sober now, the Reiner said, after some 18 trips to rehab since his early teenage years, some of which he spent on the streets. The movie was going to provide the happy ending to all that sadness. So When Nick Reiner was 15, okay, he got sent to rehab. Now, I was kind of laughing. I was imagining just a rich... Is this what happens like when you're a rich guy? I feel like when you're a rich guy and you find pot in your son's room, you go, that's it, son. You're going to Wyoming. You know? Like they send their kids to these like troubled teen... Why do so many rich kids get sent to troubled teen camp? Okay, imagine you're like a really rich guy, okay? Because we all get the same amount of hours in the day, right? So you wake up in the morning and you're like, okay,
Except that one CEO that just came out saying he reads like 600 emails a day. And everyone's like, these guys just lie. It's like what you were saying earlier.
Yeah. Well, everyone's lying to you. Except Mike Recine. That's why patreon.com/Recine Time. Here's what we're doing on Patreon. I'm giving Michelle her Hannukah presents. I got into a small fight with Deb. And what are we doing on Patreon? We're gonna do we're gonna do some racial humor. Okay?
No.
Hannukah presents, personal stuff about my wife, and racial humor over on patreon.com/Recine Time. We'll see you over there. All right. I just think about being a rich guy, and it's like you wake up in the morning and you're like, all right, like what do I have to do today? Like what are my priorities? We all have priorities. We all have stuff that has to get done. You know, for me, it's like I got to make my kid lunch. I got to take him to school. For him, it might be like, all right, I'm getting lunch. I'm getting lunch with Larry David, and I'm getting my Emmys polished. But I imagine there's like stress with being a super wealthy guy because you're like you have all these people and you literally have all these resources at your disposal, right? Like any problem that you have, oh, my dog needs to get walked. Well, let's pay a dog walker. Oh, I can hire a personal chef. Oh, I can hire, my wife hates me. Well, go shopping, honey.
A lot of problems can be solved with money.
But when you have a lot of money, it's just, you just throw money. I imagine you just throw money at shit. I pay someone to do that. I pay someone to do this. I pay someone. Oh, my son got caught in the girls' locker room. Well, here's some hush money, my son's got the knife again. Listen, son, here's $100. I just imagine this kid being like, make my fucking movie, Dad. He's like, okay. If you don't make my movie, I'm going to punch you in the penis. Something like that. That's Rob Reiner's kid. For me, if you don't have money, you go, hey, fuck you. I'll kick your ass. But now you're so rich that you're used to throwing money at all your problems. Well, you can't throw money at the weight bench. So now your son is physically stronger than you. Because he's not muscular, but he is smoking crack again. So he does have a little bit of crackhead strength every time he smokes crack. So I'm just saying, like, it's really sad, but I feel like, I would imagine that when you have money, you get accustomed to throwing money at stuff and you trying to use money to fix your problems. Okay, so when Nick Reiner was 15, he was doing drugs. I think there was a party where somebody overdosed. So 10 years ago, Rob Reiner sat down with this reporter and they sort of like, he was talking about, he admitted where he went wrong with his kid here and there. Okay. He said, the program works for some people, but it can't work for everybody. Rob said, when Nick would tell us that it wasn't working for him, we wouldn't listen. We were desperate. And because the people had diplomas on their wall, we'd listen to them when we should have been listening to our son. Michelle said, we were so influenced by these people. They wouldn't tell us he's a liar. They would tell us he's a liar, that he was trying to manipulate us, and we believed them. I looked at Romeo, the Reiner's daughter. How did she feel? This is my best friend, and I was there for all of it, she said, gesturing to her brother, 2 years older. It's weird, but good to see it on the screen, she added. She struck me as someone deeply admiring of her brother, but also perhaps a little tired of explaining his behavior to her parents, to everyone. I feel bad for her. Like, can you imagine?
Yeah, I feel bad for her. She found them. She found her parents dead.
Well, can you imagine going to your parents' apartment? Your parents have been stabbed to death, and you're like, Nick did it, Because I was talking to my friend Brad, who's like kind of right wing, and he was like, oh, I bet some homeless guy came into his house looking for drugs. I go, yeah, you want to put $20 on that? He's like, no. Anyway, but as soon as I heard when I heard him talk about, as he turned back to the table, it was very hard. The number one job of any parent is to keep their child safe, and I hadn't done that. He was almost tearing up, and now here I have done that. I kept him safe. He came out alive. This is 10 years ago. This is just extremely sad. You shouldn't kill your parents. Why is everybody killing their parents these days? There was some guy some guy in Long Island. His parents opened up a deli and he stabbed them to death. Let's not make this a thing, okay? Let's not make this a thing. And the other thing too is you never really. There were other people that said that this kid was kind of he was just kind of like an entitled rich kid. But it's sad because he got sent away when he was young. You can't be slitting your parents' throat. I mean, at some point you are an adult, okay? Right? At some point you are an adult. You can't slit your mom's throat. You have to take I mean, it's okay. They sent you to rehab when you were 15, but you got to think of other reasons to solve your problems. You got to think of other solutions. I know that slitting your mother's throat might feel good in the short term. It might feel like the right thing to do in the moment, but you're going to have to deal with all the repercussions of that. Listen, if there's any kids listening, I can't tell you how many times I thought about slitting my mother's throat. Anyway, there was also I guess he was on some podcast years ago, Mike Reiner, and he was like, yeah, I was in my parents' guest house, and I kind of freaked out. I went on a bender, and I punched the TV. It's very interesting, Nick. Thank you. Great stuff. Very compelling stuff. Not everyone has to be interesting, by the way. Not everyone has to. You know what I mean? I imagine it's very liberating to just be boring. To just live a normal life, to go okay, I'm not a storyteller. All right, I guess I'm not or you could be I mean, I don't think Rob Reiner ever punched a TV. Can you imagine that? Your 33-year-old drug addict son breaks the TV that Mel Brooks gave you? I'd be so upset. Yeah, I mean, I heard some stories that he was jealous of his dad, and his dad had a more prolific career or something like that. I don't know. I think we got to just chill with I think people need everybody. Not everybody can be in show business. Being a star who's in front of the camera is not for everybody.
Benny's going to be really jealous of you if he doesn't have it. I mean, you did a show with him recently.
Oh yeah, Benny was on stage. We're gonna talk about that. I think that's the show for this week. Anyway, join us over on Patreon, patreon.com/Recine Time. Merry Christmas. If we don't see you, take care of yourselves. Feliz Navidad. God bless. What? Oh, right. Yes, sorry. Michelle put this here to remind me that they're happy. Let me see if I'm reading this right. Hannukah. Happy Hannukah. And take care, everybody. Bye-bye. See you next time.
Those people sat back when a group of fearless men stood up for their one that we cannot mask, a danger just as real as it was meant. Let's stand with open eyes to hear our brothers' cries, and courage now is needed once again. Let's carry our banner with pride.